Hi, and welcome there. Let me just get this all set up. Uh, Looks like we have sound, which is great. Unfortunately, we have a small technical issue. I think there was a miscommunication, and I'm just waiting to hear back from Mark. Uh, Looks like we are resolving that issue right now, but we're gonna have to do this live. So what I am going to have to do is speaker is going to have to be through the headphones. Hi, Vinny, probably. Oh, Sir, hi, Sir. How are you today? All right, so there's going to be a small delay, but he is on the way. Today we are talking to M3IS3D.com business owner, Mark Sidney Frazer. And he had created a headphone stand for me. And well, it's good that I have to wear them because that makes it easier for me to move my guy around. There we are. Let me just get on the camera. Boom. This guy, he's a headphone. He's a headphone rack, basically. And this has been 3D printed by Mark. Up there he is. And there he is.
So I don't really do math.
It's okay, man. it happens. Time zones are weird. I was just showing off Eddie. Like everything came through great.
Oh yeah, I'm so glad. Like you just never know what the post office is gonna do.
Yeah,
with
a
bunch of bowling balls or something.
Yeah, that's always a threat. You know, the whole handling part of it. The shipping part, usually it gets out of the house fine, but it's then you got to worry about what happens in between.
You're really paying for the handling.
Yeah, yeah. We actually build guitars here, and shipping those out is always a nightmare because that's an $800 piece of musical equipment that I'm trying to make sure it doesn't get destroyed.
Often not the least fragile kind either.
No. We usually give like an add-on hard case, and we'll send it in a hard case. At least it gives it the most protection we can.
Yep.
So let's talk about your business, not my business. So M3IS3D. I actually I first encountered your business through Scott Bowers, a common friend of ours.
Oh, okay.
He actually posted the Eddie, and I was like, hey, I need this. And and then John Hudson, I think, came in and directed me to your website.
Yeah. That Eddie was done as a custom thing for somebody. But what I like to do is I didn't used to do custom stuff. What I figured out, I can do these custom things, but because it's a 3D printed thing, I can just make more of them after the design. Now I still charge extra to design custom things because sometimes that you just don't know what's going to sell.
Yeah,
and you have to kind of factor that in. Like, I mean, something like that Iron Maiden one probably is going to sell, but people want all kinds of weird stuff, so you just have to hedge your bets a little bit.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
but yeah, I'm really proud of how that came out and everything.
yeah. It looks amazing. It looks really amazing.
Yeah, I want to do more music themed stuff. I'd love to do like Steve Perry from Journey and like things like that, because I just feel like it's a little, I don't know. In the 3D printing world, nobody's thinking about stuff like that. Like they're not
Yeah,
doing the cool classic rock kind of things. They're like geeky engineering students and stuff. But
yeah.
I grew up on all that classic rock and played lots of it. My favorite band is probably Rush. I love Yes. But I grew up with tons of arena rock like Kansas, Styx, Boston, Foreigner, all those guys. So in my own way, I'm kind of paying some tribute to those kind of bands,
Hmm.
the early British new wave metal kind of stuff too. I'd love to
Yeah,
do
yeah.
a Rob Halford from Judas Priest.
That would be awesome. Here, I'll model the bald for you. There you go.
Yeah, just imagine no hair.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep.
That's a trip, man. So how did you get into 3D printing?
Well, it's always been so many things in my life have always been really musical in origin. Um, I had this idea that the actual explicit reason I got into 3D printing. So I had this idea to make some merch for bands, and I had a pretty interesting idea. Like back in the day when I was playing out a lot in bands I was in were playing out, we used to sell CDs, of course, and before that, obviously cassettes, records, whatever medium people were using at the time. But there's nothing like that now. And so, you'd be playing gigs and you're like, go to iTunes on your phone. And then people are like kind of getting taken out of the whole thing. And you don't really want people looking at your phones because then they get distracted during your show or after your show or whatever. It's not really
Right.
ideal. So I had this idea to make flash drives that have your albums on them, but put like a 3D printed cover over it that looks, it's like themed with the band somehow, or at least had the band name or something like that. And I didn't really, in somewhere in the middle of that, I figured out that I could just 3D print other things that were a lot simpler, and people would buy them.
That were easier to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got into making stuff for board games because board game people love their accessories, card holders, and organizers and stuff like that. But I always kept coming back to musical stuff, and that's where the headphone thing comes from. Because everyone
Hmm.
has headphones, but no one has a place to put them.
Right.
They're just laying on the ground or on their desk or somewhere, just like getting stepped on. You don't want that.
Would you like to? This is my headphone holder from before.
A very common story.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I saw that and I was like, wow, look, hold. I saw your website and I was like, wow, he actually sells like headphone holders. That's like an ingenious idea. Because I generally just don't see that. Like
Yeah,
I
well,
see something jerry rigged, like I did.
that's the magic. I mean, there are ones, but a lot of them. I mean, 3D printing is a big unlock because a lot of headphone holders are like made out of wood and carved and stuff, and like
Hmm.
your average person isn't going to pay $80 for
Right.
like a plain, just nondescript headphone holder. When I realized that I could make them in the shapes of famous people, and plus it's just funny to have like Einstein wearing headphones. Like it's just
Yeah.
got the certain comedic value to it, and everybody's funnier. All those historical figures are funnier with headphones on. But yeah. Oh, the mail guy showed up picking up packages.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. But yeah, when I realized how many heads there were in the universe, I'm just like, seems like I could make a lot of versions of this.
Yeah. Yeah. So how do you actually? Is it like proprietary? That I don't know if I can ask you like how you actually come up with getting the shape done or what have you.
It's complicated. Some stuff we do completely from scratch. Sometimes, more often, I start with something and modify it. It's easier to like change something than just make something completely from scratch. Even if you just take like a normal nondescript face and kind of change the features a little bit and move things around, It's a real art, but once you've done 80 of them, it's not too bad.
So it's do you guys use like AutoCAD or something like that to help with your designs?
I actually took AutoCAD classes in college. I went for graphic design, but no. AutoCAD's a pretty heavy-duty program, unless you're making something really geometric from like scratch or something. It's not really. I don't know. There are a lot of programs. Anybody that wants to figure this stuff out, probably could do it. But yeah, I won't give away too many secrets. This is
okay.
Butter right here.
Yeah. So how long ago did you start doing this exactly? Like the whole M3IS3D?
I think it's October that I started. It will be 3 years. The heads are about 1.5 years old, I think. I can't remember. The Einstein was the first one because actually I can't think of any particular reason why Einstein was the first one, but it just sold so well. People went nuts. And that I already wanted to do a bunch, but that was kind of a confirmation of what I was trying to do anyway.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's outstanding. So your site, you have it as your name. M3IS3D.com.
Yep.
What does that stand for? Like M3, what is?
I'm Mark Sidney Frazer the third.
Ah.
And, well, yeah, when I was playing shows and when I was in bands and stuff, like if you're trying to make a banner or something, you know, Mark Sidney Frazer the third, nobody can see that unless they just like hold it up like this, you know. So M3 is kind of catchier. The domain names are easier to type in.
Right. Yeah, very important thing. A lot of people don't realize the easier the domain name, the better.
Yeah, and it's got a certain modernity to it. It sounds kind of fancy, slick.
It's reflexive on itself, even though it has an M and a D at the end. It just has that idea.
It's like, pseudo palindromic.
Yeah, pseudo palindromic. So you have the site. I saw you put Eddie up now, right? Jim Smith, actually, he was in a band up in New York, like a thrash metal band way back in the day called Necrophilia, and he saw that. He just like went ape shit. He's like, I gotta have one. I'm like,
of course, that was his band name.
Yeah. I actually still have one of his shirts somewhere.
You should put that on the wall with no explanation. It's a club I'm in. It's cool, you know.
The motto is, fulfilling the urge to crack open a cold one.
We've all thought about
it. So you did music. What kind of music did you play? I didn't know this.
Yeah. I did a bunch of things. I ran a recording studio for 10 years. I've recorded 12 albums. But I've been in a lot of bands too. I've played in lots of metal bands. It's kind of like if you're a pretty good musician, you're just going to end up having metal friends. You know, like it's kind of like one of those genres that you can't suck and play, or at least it's really obvious if you do. But I like progressive rock. I like a lot of that arena rock, like I was talking about. But I kind of like modern takes on it. I feel like a lot of the theatricalness and like the epic thing is kind of not as cool as it should be anymore. Like I just grew up going to those concerts and stuff in 20,000 seat arenas and stuff, and you'd see like Bad Company, and like everybody would just get super into it, and they'd just be going off on stage, and I don't know, yeah, I mean it's what everybody who's older says about music, but it feels like we lost a little something when music stopped being like I'm in a big audience and just hearing this really loud, awesome music, and now music is just this thing on your phone.
Yeah. I remember going to the Extreme Steel tour way back when, and you know, being in the pit there at Nassau Coliseum with like 20,000 other people is insane. You know, all that type of stuff. That I don't do that stuff anymore. I'm a little too old for that.
Oh, lost you for a second there.
Yo, oh, okay. All right, where'd you lose me? Am I back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Something about Nassau Coliseum.
Oh yeah, there. I don't do that stuff anymore. I don't like go to shows like that anymore. Mainly because I don't like people anymore.
Yeah, it can be a little dangerous sometimes.
Yeah, especially down here. Like I'm in the land of Florida, man. It's not the same as it was back in New York.
No,
oddly speaking, you know, oddly enough.
Yeah, you don't walk around in Florida; you swim. Humidity.
All that, and you have like the random angry meth head you got to deal with. So
you gotta have that. It's not right without that.
Yeah. So you've been in business for like 3 years. When you first started out, was this like I don't know if this is actually going to work out for me, or was it like just gung ho, go ahead?
Well, I would say the reason I put as much effort into it as I did in the beginning is because things sold pretty well. Like I said, I was really wanting to do the USB flash drive band merch thing. We're going to do other stuff like make ashtrays with the band logo in them and sell those. Like every band ever just needs merch. And it's always boring. It's like, you know, there's a million stickers. Everybody's got stickers. But yeah, I posted some board gaming stuff because I was playing a lot of board games at the time. And I think the first week I sold like $400 worth of them. And that was, you know, that's the kind of thing that gets your attention when you're delivering sandwiches and stuff for a living.
Yeah.
I was doing, I worked at Jimmy John's during the day because their lunch rush was the busiest. And then I would deliver pizza at night. I was working about 60 hours a week. And I was really looking for like the next thing that was going to get me out of this rat race a little bit.
Yeah.
And I guess that was my motivation. And,
yeah, that's a good solid motivation. I mean, and it looks like it's working out for you, right?
Yeah, this facility we have is in downtown Nacogdoches. Not sure how the camera works here, but you can see all our racks and stuff. And there's filament and all kinds of various things that do various things around here. But yeah, I was running this out of my house for the first couple of years, but we just ended up needing a lot of space. And rents aren't too expensive around here, so it kind of worked out.
So basically you just like started up at your house, you know, you just were like, all right, screw this, I'm doing this now, and just went to town.
That's how it worked.
And it took off like a rocket.
Yeah, I mean, I put a lot of effort into learning stuff like how to rank higher in search results, SEO. I mean, when I was delivering for years, I listened to business audiobooks. I just tried to give myself, because I just didn't want to be doing that for the rest of my life. I didn't really want to get into some profession and get into a bunch of debt, you know, for like everybody does going to college. Not that it's always a bad idea, but I just hate debt. Hate being in debt in any way at all. So there's just so much information and so many good audiobooks you can listen to that I just decided I was going to learn everything I could about business. So, I mean, it's one of those things. Wasn't it Joe DiMaggio who said, like, the more I try, the luckier I get, or something like that? You know, it was lucky, but it found me prepared. And that's how a lot of things kind of go that work out.
That's actually a really good quote. I was lucky, but it found me prepared. There you go.
Yes. Just let one of my quotes is let the misery do its work. Like every time you're at the job and you're like, God, I don't want to take one more platter of sandwiches. Like I'm gonna lose my mind if I do this one more time. Listen, but actually do something about it.
Yeah. I definitely feel you. I mean, I'm right now stuck in the rat race. Now, granted, my job is a little bit. It's not Jimmy John's.
Right.
But I didn't go to school to learn how. I'm a butcher by trade during the day.
Oh, nice.
And I didn't go to school to learn how to do that. I went to work and learned how to do that because I'm old and that's what we used to do. Mm-hmm. and hang on one second, I've got a cat that's being a jerk. Come on, buddy.
Maybe you can butcher him live.
No, he's my buddy.
Be a little stringy.
He saves me from myself. Come here, jerk. Come on. Out from back there. Here he is.
Oh, yeah. You got the hairless cats. Very nice.
Yeah. I used to be a rock star, and my nose does not like cat hair.
Yeah, I'm allergic to cats as well. If I was ever going to get a cat, that's why hairless cats are pretty cool to me. So you don't find that you get any allergies or anything from them, huh?
Well, it's not that I'm allergic; it's that I have a big giant cavern on the inside of my head.
Oh.
Yeah, I used to party a lot. It's how I dealt with playing music in front of people when I was playing music all those years ago. Since I can't in front of people.
Oh yeah, you cut out there for a second, for about 5 seconds.
That's weird, because it's not showing up anything on my side. Like my metrics are like 100%. That's weird. All right. So anyway, I was saying, like,
video gods are mysterious.
Yeah, I used to get messed up before I'd go play shows because I just can't with people. Like, I get too focused on what people are doing in front of me instead of getting into the music because there's people throwing beer bottles and shit like that out there.
Yeah, that's a thing for sure.
Yeah. So I would just get messed up and then play because I was playing stuff that I could just play without thinking about it, So I have this giant cavern on the inside of my head because I pretty much destroyed my sinuses during that period of time in my life. So when I'm surrounded by a lot of cat hair, like my father used to have a lot of cats, and when I came down here, I was down here to take care of him, and I would literally be blowing hairballs out of my nose. It was disgusting.
Well, that's a little awkward. I can understand.
Yeah.
You want to avoid that.
Yeah, but Buddy Boy doesn't shed, so I don't have to really worry about that.
Yep.
But I don't have like an actual allergy.
Don't you have to bathe them because they can't figure out how to groom themselves?
Well, they do groom themselves. My fat one does not do it so well because she's fat. But Homeboy here is pretty good, and he'll get in the shower with me too. So I'll just be in the shower. I'll pick him up, and he'll just stay here, and I'll soap him up and wash him and dry him off and let him go. But he keeps himself really clean.
That's cool. Yeah, I've heard there's a bit of a range. If they're pretty fat, I imagine the surface area is just overwhelming.
I think it has more to do with how much wrinkles they have. Like,
oh, that's true. Yeah.
Because they're not all the same. I mean, they're the same breed, but they're not all really the same at all. They're very individual. Like Homeboy, you barely see any wrinkles on him at all. She's got like this Yoda head going on. It's insane.
She's pretty much like a 60s movie creature.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, but they can be trying sometimes, wanting the attention. They're like little dogs because they sleep with me. They come hang out and cuddle all the time, and they always want attention. They're not like cats at all. They're not like, fuck you, I don't care if you're there.
Yep. Still cats inside.
No, barely. They're barely cats inside. They're cats on the outside. On the inside, it's like having a dog. Like he sits at the door when I come home.
Yeah.
Mm.
If I go out to go get the mail, he'll sit and wait at the door until I come back. It's weird.
Huh. Wonder if it's just not having fur. It somehow affects their subconscious in mysterious ways.
I don't know. I don't judge it. I just live by it.
You just gotta accept them the way they are.
I have feline dogs.
It's the best kind. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. So, if someone wants to custom order something, do they reach you through the website, or do they reach you through Facebook itself?
Pretty much anywhere is fine. A lot of people do message me through Facebook, but I'm on Etsy, I'm on eBay, I'm on Reverb.com, I'm on Mercari, which is a newer site, but most people haven't heard of that. Pretty much anywhere. Yeah. There's some stuff we can do. I mean, sometimes things are so complex that I would just have to charge so much to make it that I pretty much I know that they're not going to be into it, but most things are pretty doable. So yeah.
All right. So your website, M3IS3D.com. Is that how they get a hold of you on all those other sites, or do you have a different name? I mean,
it's M3IS3D everywhere that I am. Yeah.
Okay.
If you
So
just Google search M3IS3D, you'll see a whole bunch of things show up.
Awesome. So that's M3 is 3D, because there's also, are we on RLM as well?
I'm not sure because of Grim.
Oh, okay. But we're gonna actually cast this over to RLM and eventually, and they'll only do the audio, so I have to make sure I actually say the name of the site. And
Right.
yeah, if you Google M, the number 3 is the number 3D, you will find multiple options for buying from Mark here. And I'm going to tell you, it's amazing work. Like it came, and I was absolutely not disappointed. Like he said,
Yep.
The pictures don't do it justice, and he's right. I mean, it's an amazing amount of detail.
I thought a
beautiful
lot
piece of work.
about how to adapt that album cover, and I thought about not doing the hands and just having the chains kind of go to the bottom of the thing somehow, but it just looked so cool. I just had to do it.
Yeah, it's incredible. I love it.
Yep.
Yeah, it fits perfectly. It's definitely a perfect image. I was thinking about painting it.
You
Yeah,
can actually. The
putting a
material
reference-
I make things out of, you don't even need primer, typically. So do whatever you want with it. It's yours.
I used to actually paint miniatures for. I used to play tabletop miniature games, so like little army men type of things.
Yeah, no, I used to play 40K.
Yeah, me too. I actually still have my
a lot of
Necron.
miniatures and stuff as well.
I still have my Necron sitting in the closet.
Very cool. No, somewhere on Facebook I posted this like a decade ago, but I painted a dreadnought and I just did all kinds of stuff. I got like some flour to put snow on it and stuff, and like I got like basil and leafy herbs and stuff to do the grass. It looked pretty awesome. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, I used to do all that type of stuff. I actually worked at a place that sold that stuff and had like table set up in the back for gaming and stuff like that. We used to host Games Workshop tournaments. Like people from Games Workshop would come, like the company, and pitch merch and stuff like that, which was really cool. Way back in the day.
Yeah. No, it's hard to make extremely detailed, very small models. But I used to sell a few things like that. Like I had this wrecked dreadnought model that I used to sell, because like sometimes your dreadnoughts get blown up and you just want to like put a big corpse there, and maybe you can do some cover stuff with it or something. But
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, some of the bigger things I used to do, but they're so detailed it's hard to get it just absolutely perfect, and model people are really picky. So
yeah.
I try to go with bigger things that it's not such a hard thing to get right.
Yeah, doing modifications to the Games Workshop models for equipment was a big deal where I was. It's like the guy wants to use a rifle instead of a pistol. Leave him alone. He doesn't need a whole new miniature just for that. But but some of these people were really like sticklers about all that stuff.
Once you start getting the X-Acto knife out and you start like carving things out of it, it's like you're really hardcore when you're starting to do that kind of thing.
Yeah. Especially like the smaller batch games like Necromunda and stuff like that, where you're changing equipment every week. It's like I need a stock of like 60 miniatures just to hold up a 5-man team. What's going on?
It's pretty intense for sure.
Yeah. Big money sink. It was a big money sink for me back in the day.
Yeah, that's why I'm the one making them and not the one playing it anymore.
yeah. Definitely understandable. All right, so I'm going to let you get back to work. I'm sure you got plenty of things to do. That's Mark Frazer at M3IS3D.com. Just search M3IS3D. M, the number 3 is the number 3D. On Google, you'll find a plethora of places where he is selling merchandise. And definitely take a look at his shop because everything on there looks amazing. I've got Donna here wanting to buy an octopus now.
Oh yeah, that's a new one and it's really starting to blow up.
Yeah, it's pretty cool because she has a lot of hats.
I do.
Yep. 8 tentacles. I kind of designed it to hang keys and small things like that, but they're strong enough to hold basically anything. Like you could probably hang a big coat on it if you wanted.
There you go, a big coat.
Just saying.
Yeah. So all right. So let's wrap this up because I got to make dinner too. Donna's gonna start getting angry. Yeah, you can reach out to Mark if you want a custom order. You can reach out to him. It's Mark Sidney Frazer III on Facebook, and he'll take messages there. He takes messages on his website. I'm sure every single one of the sites that you sell on has a messenger type of thing attached to it as well. And definitely check out his stuff. He doesn't only do headphone stuff. There's also, there's the other thing that I saw on your site that was amazing, the tissue dispenser.
Yeah, that was great.
Oh, yeah, that's a whole new category of things. Like, I have all these head models that I made. So you think things like, what weird stuff can I do with this? And somebody I know came up with the idea of just carving out a thing in the middle to put like one of those small tissue boxes in. Put it in, pull it out through the nose.
Yeah.
So we have so many things we're working on, but that's going to be one in the future. But I have a Easter Island themed one that is pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was hilarious. I saw that. I was like, is that tissues?
There's just something about it. As soon as I pictured it, I'm like, I got to make that. Yeah. It's got to be a thing.
All right. So thank you for coming by. I greatly appreciate it. And I wish you the best with all your endeavors. I mean, this is an amazing piece of artwork. Once we throw some paint on it and get it looking exactly like the album cover, I'll definitely take pictures.
What you do with it, it'll be real cool.
Yeah, we'll definitely take pictures. I've got an artist that lives right over here.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I mean, I'm well versed in it, but I may let her do this one because it's beautiful already, and I don't want to. I don't want to mess it up, so I'm going to make her do it.
I feel you.
So have a great day, and hopefully we'll see you soon, and continue making great stuff, man.
Hey, I really appreciate it. It's been quite fun, I must say.
All right, thank you. Yeah.
All right, digital handshake.
Digital handshake. All right. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Yeah, I never know how to end those properly. Like, it's weird. So that was Mark Sidney Frazier the third over at M3IS3D.com. Definitely, absolutely go and check out his website, check out his stuff. It is amazing. And if you have a custom order, absolutely reach out to him and get him working on your stuff.
Yeah, I actually, Sissy does custom pieces. I'm thinking of getting one of the cats, just to mess with them. Yeah, I don't know if anybody could hear throughout the course of the interview today, the thumping sound in the other room. I managed to get a flopping fish toy for the cats, and it's managed to find its way into Fort Kick-Ass, and
I was dragged in there by one of them.
Yeah.
All right, so thanks everybody for coming by. I greatly appreciate it. Again, absolutely check out what Mark's doing, because it's some pretty awesome work.
I had trouble deciding. There's so many great pieces there, available. So please do.
Yeah, absolutely. Say bye, Donna.
Bye, Donna.
Bye, everybody.